Discipline isn't about motivation. It's about mastering your mind. We often treat discipline like a finite battery, something we charge up with a loud speech or a sunrise run, only to watch it drain by Tuesday afternoon. But the truth is far more clinical. Discipline is not a feeling. It is a structural reality of the human brain. It is the result of a silent war between the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system, a battle between the version of you that wants a legacy and the version of you that just wants a donut. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping, you don't have a character flaw. You have a hardware problem. Most people believe they lack the willpower to change, but willpower is a myth sold to people who haven't studied the data. Scientists have spent decades mapping the willpower depletion model, and the results are clear. The more choices you make, the weaker your resolve becomes. This is why you can resist a distraction at 9 in the morning, but collapse into a scrolling spiral at 9 at night. The brain is an energy-saving machine. It views effort as a cost and comfort as a profit. To master discipline, you have to stop trying to be stronger and start being smarter. You have to stop fighting your nature and start hacking your biology. Motivation is the most dangerous tool in your arsenal because it is unreliable. It's like a fair-weather friend who shows up when the sun is out, but vanishes the moment things get difficult. When you rely on motivation to get things done, you are essentially outsourcing your future to your current mood. Think about that for a second. You are letting a fleeting chemical spike in your brain decide whether or not you achieve your life's work. This is the fundamental error of the modern achiever. We wait to feel like it, but feeling like it is a luxury. And those who rely on luxuries never build empires. The brain's primary objective is survival, not fulfillment. To your ancient ancestors, comfort meant safety. It meant you weren't being hunted, you weren't starving, and you were conserving calories. In the modern world, this evolutionary trait has become a trap. Your brain doesn't know the difference between the safety of a warm bed and the danger of a challenging project. It just knows that one requires energy and the other doesn't. When you feel that resistance, that heavy magnetic pull toward the couch, that is your amygdala trying to save your life from a threat that doesn't exist. Recognizing this is the first step toward true autonomy. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one listening to it. The secret to elite discipline isn't found in a better goal, it's found in a better system. A goal is a destination you might never reach. A system is a vehicle that moves whether you're excited or not. If you want to write a book, writing a book is a goal. Writing 200 words at 7 a.m. is a system. Goals rely on the prefrontal cortex to exert constant effort, which is exhausting. Systems, however, utilize the basal ganglia, the part of the brain responsible for habits. Once a behavior moves from the prefrontal cortex to the basal ganglia, it no longer requires willpower. It becomes as automatic as breathing. This is how the most disciplined people in the world operate. They aren't grinding, they are just following a script they wrote for themselves months ago. Building consistency is less about the big wins and more about the non-negotiables. We tend to overcomplicate the process by trying to change everything at once. We want the new diet, the new workout, the new sleep schedule, and the new career path all starting on Monday. This triggers a massive threat response in the brain. The smarter approach is the concept of micro-habits. If you can't commit to 30 minutes of meditation, commit to 30 seconds. The goal isn't the meditation. The goal is the act of showing up. You are training your brain to trust your word. Every time you do what you said you would do, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. Excuses are just well-packaged lies we tell ourselves to avoid the pain of growth. We say we don't have time, but the data shows the average person spends over 2 hours a day on social media. We say we don't have the resources, but we have the sum of human knowledge in our pockets. The reality is that we use excuses as a buffer against the fear of failure. If we don't try, we can't fail. But if we don't try, we've already lost. Discipline is the process of removing those buffers. It's about looking at the why behind the excuse. Usually, it isn't a lack of time, it's a lack of priority. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-respect because it means you value your future self more than your current comfort. To master this daily, you need specific neurological exercises. The first is voluntary discomfort. This isn't about being a martyr, it's about conditioning. Take a cold shower, not because it's healthy, but because it's hard. When you stand under that freezing water and your brain is screaming for you to step out and you stay, you are exercising the muscle of no. You are telling your limbic system that it is not in charge. Do this every day, and soon the hard things in your professional life won't seem so daunting. You've already won the biggest battle before you even put on your shoes. Another exercise is the 5-second rule, rooted in cognitive switching. The moment you have an impulse to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds, or your brain will kill the idea. This short-circuits the hesitation loop. It prevents the brain from overthinking and entering a state of analysis paralysis. It's a simple biological override. By counting backward 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you shift the focus from the emotional part of the brain to the logical part. You seize the moment before the resistance has a chance to build its case. Discipline also requires an audit of your environment. Your brain is highly sensitive to cues. If you leave your phone on your desk, you will check it. Not because you're weak, but because the cue is present. A disciplined person doesn't have more willpower. They have fewer temptations. They design an environment where the right choice is the easy choice. They hide the distractions and put the tools of their craft front and center. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. If you want to work out, lay your clothes out the night before. You are essentially preloading your decisions so that your lazy brain has no choice but to follow through. We must also discuss the role of dopamine. In today's world, we are drowning in cheap dopamine scrolling, junk food, instant notifications. This constant flood desensitizes our receptors, making the slow dopamine of hard work feel boring or even painful. Real discipline involves a dopamine fast. It's about stepping away from the instant gratification to allow your brain to recalibrate. When you lower the baseline of stimulation, you find that you can actually focus on deep, meaningful work again. You start to find joy in the process, not just the result. This is the hallmark of the Stoic mind, finding satisfaction in the effort itself. True mastery comes when you realize that discipline is not a prison, but a key. It is the only thing that actually makes you free. Without discipline, you are a slave to your moods, your environment, and the whims of others. You are a leaf in the wind, reacting to whatever happens to you. But with discipline, you become the wind. You decide where you go and how fast you get there. You stop being a spectator in your own life and start being the architect. The psychology of discipline is ultimately the psychology of identity. You don't do discipline, you are disciplined. It becomes a part of who you are. When you reach this level, there is no more internal debate. You don't ask yourself if you're going to work out or if you're going to focus. You just do it because that is what a person like you does. This is the everyday principle. It's not about being perfect once, it's about being present always. The path is narrow, and most will fall off. But for those who remain, the world opens up in ways the motivated will never understand. In the end, your life is the sum total of your daily habits. It's the result of the small, quiet choices you make when no one is watching. The cold shower, the extra page of writing, the decision to put the phone away. These are the building blocks of a life well lived. They seem insignificant in the moment, but through the lens of time, they are everything. Master your mind, master your systems, and you will inevitably master your life. This is the work. It's hard, it's repetitive, and it's often lonely. But it is the only way to become the version of yourself that you actually respect.